Like many of you viewers, I watch Call of Duty Next live, and today I wanted to go over some of the interesting things and details about Modern Warfare 2's reveal. Let's get started. It looks like the movement in this year's COD will be a slight tweak from what 2019's Modern Warfare had. The biggest changes are slide canceling and dolphin diving. Slide canceling and shooting while sliding have been removed from Modern Warfare, while dolphin diving is making a return. Personally, I don't mind this change. For me at least, it seems slide canceling was only used by myself in Warzone, but considering I'm an S&D player at heart, I never really used it in multiplayer. As for dolphin diving, I'm excited to see what kind of goofy plays can be made while diving around the map. I can totally see how getting rid of slide canceling can upset some players, but Cold War removed slide canceling and it was fine. Was that the best game? No, we're going to bring up some examples of why I hate that game, but it's change, it's Call of Duty, and you're just going to have to improve and get better with the mechanics at hand. I rarely see this affecting multiplayer. I only see these crazy movement players on Warzone, and it's probably how it's going to be in Warzone 2. We're only going to see some crazy movement in the BR and not in multiplayer. Now, enough talking about movement. I want to get to the meat of the video and what I care about mostly, which is the new gunsmith. Gunsmith is still kind of a new thing for Call of Duty, but I believe that the new and updated gunsmith system improves on previous titles. Attachment unlock for each weapon category will pass on to the next weapon in that category, meaning if I level up the M4, get it max level, the attachments for the assault rifles will all be unlocked across the board, cutting down on time spent grinding attachments for each individual weapon. Another great addition to Gunsmith is a new attachment category, which is a receiver. This allows you to turn your LMG into an assault rifle and vice versa. A great example of this is shown in gameplay of the SMG build of the M4 that has a P90 mag, overall smaller, more agile build. Another example is the Fennec or the Vector, which was turned into an assault rifle, demolishing players at range with an SMG rate of fire. In my personal opinion, I like this change. I think it adds more creativity with weapon building, but it can also become a nightmare to balance. And I think we're going to see that in the future. I think we're going to see that in the beta and when the game launches, that we're going to have a bunch of crazy weapon builds that are just way too OP to keep in the game. All this could be true, that we could get some really crazy overpowered weapons. I think this is just a great upgrade from 2019's gunsmith system. It allows you to choose more attachments, it allows you to customize your gun more, change builds, figure out how you play and what type of gun you want to use. All I'm saying is I better not see a shotgun built into an SMG or just something crazy like that. But, you know, inevitably, we know it's coming. We know we're going to get something broken. So you might as well embrace it, have fun with it. Another major thing I wanted to talk about was snipers. I love sniping in Cold War. I think sniping in Cold War and the zombies were the only two good things that came out of that game. But I'm a sniper, I enjoy it, and so I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this next COD, how the snipers are going to be balanced, and we actually have a look at it from watching gameplay and kind of seeing how the snipers will act. Now, sniping in Call of Duty in recent years has seemed very polarizing. Either love sniping in Call of Duty, where you're dog shit at the game, no I'm kidding, but there's a lot to talk about with the snipers. There's a lot of gameplay that I saw. The sniping actually looked pretty good. It looked kind of well balanced. We were looking at snipers that had no levels, nothing, and they looked moderately quick. Now, over on Vanguard, if you were lucky enough to play that abomination, you know that snipers and Vanguards were gutted and nerfed with no way to improve them, making everyone just use ARs and SMGs, and snipers were kind of fun to mess around with, but it was never something you'd hop into search and destroy with and try to use accurately. I mean, you could hit some clips, but it was never a reliable weapon when fighting against SMGs or ARs or LMGs, anything that could be broken in that game. Personal example I have of this is after switching off of Cold War to Vanguard, I was kind of like conditioned to use ARs and SMGs because the snipers just weren't it. They weren't hitting. They were kind of just a little too weak, and they really never got improved on too much. And so when I went back to Cold War and I was trying to snipe, I have a video that I'll put up eventually where I dropped like 24 kills. I was like 24-2 in the search and destroy lobby using the snipers only. I kind of just sucked going back into it. But yeah, I mean, that's just the way like the games can change your play style, and it really affected mine, and it made me just not use snipers. Now, I think that this will be a stark contrast to Modern Warfare 2 because the base ADS speed of the sniper which we saw, which was the Lynx 50 cal, was reasonably quick, and keep in mind it was a base weapon, meaning all the attachments were not on it, and I think inevitably just having more attachments can make this gun better and improve the ADS speed, making it way more viable in the game. We'll also be seeing a return to marksman rifles. One confirmed is MK2, which was also in Modern Warfare 2019, so that's nice. I imagine we're going to have something like the CAR, maybe an SKS, you know, something following that guideline, that 2019 set. Overall though, I think it's going to be a good year for snipers. I think they're going to be kind of well balanced, hopefully. I'm hoping that there's a good balance in between sniping and anyone using anything else. Do I think that snipers should dominate the game? No, but I think every gun deserves a fair chance, and if there's a player good enough to use them, that they could absolutely run through a lobby, whether they're using a sniper, an AR, SMG. This is a little side note, but I think I could rant for literal hours about how bad Vanguard was, but I think I'll refrain myself from doing that. Jumping from snipers to overall weapon balancing, I think from the gameplay that we saw, at the very least, assault rifles and SMGs fit in their own lane. SMGs seem to perform really well in close range, and the ARs fit perfectly into that mid to close range combat. This is a big improvement from Cold War, because all the way up to the end of the game's life cycle, SMGs dominated close range and it completely overshadowed the assault rifle category. So seeing that the two biggest categories work well against each other is a redemption from the last two CODs at least. Something I want to squeeze in real quick before I hit that 8-minute mark is the return of third-person POV from older Call of Duty titles. Now this is something you have to queue into. It's not going to be in your first-person lobbies, thankfully. And I'm not really much of a third-person player, so I won't be getting into it, but I think it finally gives a lot of players an excuse to buy an overpriced, really cool-looking skin. Alright guys, that's it from me. Comment down below what you think about the upcoming Call of Duty. Tell me what you like or dislike about the new changes being made, and as always, send like, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you in the next one.